Hello friends. Put 10 Kangal dogs and 1 tiger in a cage. In about 5 minutes, you can take out 10 dead dogs. This provocative comment recently appeared under one of my previous videos. It sounds harsh, but let's figure out if that's really the case and what would actually happen in such a completely wild battle. First, let's find out what Kangals are. A Kangal is a Turkish Shepherd, a famous guard dog. It is a very large and strong dog. An adult male Kangal weighs from 60 to 70 kilograms. The breed was specifically developed to protect livestock, sheep, and goats from predators. Kangals are rightly called wolf dogs. In their native Anatolia, these dogs have been helping shepherds fend off wolves, bears, and jackals for centuries. The Kangal is distinguished from many other dogs by its phenomenal bite force, averaging around 743 pounds per square inch. In this regard, Kangals are considered some of the record holders in the canine world. It's said that with one such bite, a Kangal can kill a wolf in a matter of seconds. Now, the tiger, a truly formidable opponent for the dogs. The tiger is one of the largest land predators on the planet and the heaviest cat in the family. An adult Amur or Bengal male tiger usually weighs from 200 to 250 kilograms, often more. Record specimens are also known. For example, the largest Bengal tiger weighed 388.7 kilograms. This is more than 5 times heavier than the average Kangal. At such a weight, the tiger remains an amazingly agile and muscular animal. Its body is like a compressed spring of muscles. The bite force of a tiger reaches approximately 1,050 pounds per square inch, which is almost 1.5 times stronger than that of a Kangal. And to this is added the tiger's arsenal. Impressive fangs up to 7 to 8 centimeters long and sharp claws up to 8 to 10 centimeters long. Just imagine, a tiger's claw the size of your finger and a strike from such a paw is compared to a hammer blow. By some estimates, with a swipe of its paw, a tiger can deliver a blow with a force of up to 4.5 tons. That is enough to split a skull or break the spine of an average animal with a single strike. The tiger is a natural-born hunter-killer. In the wild, it often brings down prey, weighing more than itself, whether it be a deer, wild boar, or even a buffalo. Tigers have lightning-fast reflexes, powerful paws, and killer instincts. No wonder they are called some of the most perfect predators on Earth. Comparison of the characteristics of a tiger and a Kangal. A tiger is significantly bigger and heavier than any Kangal and has superior weaponry. Sharp claws and massive paws against only the teeth of a dog, and it has a more powerful bite. However, the Kangal is no slouch either. It is not a decorative dog, but a large, hardy, strong dog, specially bred for confrontations with predators. And dogs have one key advantage: they can act as a pack. In nature, tigers lead a solitary lifestyle, but dogs, like their ancestors the wolves, know how to coordinate efforts in a group. What would prevail in a hypothetical fight? The mass and deadliness of the tiger, or the numbers and coordination of the dog pack? 10 Kangals against a tiger. Possible scenarios. First scenario, a spontaneous fight. The tiger, finding itself face-to-face with an aggressive group of 10 dogs, will most likely attack first, trying to take down the opponents one by one. The predator will pounce on the nearest dog swiftly. One leap, a paw strike, a bite to the neck. There is a high probability that the first victim will be incapacitated literally in the first seconds of the fight, possibly immediately to death. The tiger knows how to fight multiple opponents. It will constantly be in motion, roaring and striking in all directions. The Kangals will not just stand still either. Each dog will instinctively, or due to training rush at the big cat, especially if it has already latched onto their companion. Chaos will begin. Around the bundle of a growling tiger and the pair of dogs it has caught, the remaining dogs will run around, trying to attack from the back or side. But the coordination of a dog group, unaccustomed to joint hunting, may be lacking. There is a great danger that the Kangals will act disjointedly without tactics. Each one attacks the enemy on its own. In such a chaotic fight, this works to the tiger's advantage. It can fend off and bite each dog individually. One powerful swipe of the paw, and yet another dog flies off with a slashed side or broken teeth. 2 or 3 such attacks, and 2 or 3 opponents are down. With each leap and lunge, the tiger uses its mass to knock dogs off their feet, trample them. Of course, Kangals are no amateurs. Their bites are also extremely painful. If even a couple of dogs manage to latch onto the tiger's paws or neck, the cat will have a hard time. However, individual bites in different places will likely only provoke the striped predator. One can imagine how after a few minutes of such a melee, most of the dogs will be mortally wounded or will scatter with their tails between their legs. The outcome of the chaotic fight is likely a victory for the tiger at the cost of possibly a couple of injured or even killed dogs. The internet commentator, whose words we started with, might be close to the truth in such a scenario. The tiger is indeed capable of setting an uncoordinated group of 10 dogs against each other and defeating them one by one. Scenario 2. Coordinated pack attack. What if the dogs act harmoniously and tactically smart? After all, as they say, one dog is a wolf, but 10 dogs are already a wolf pack. Let's imagine that the Kangals are trained to hunt together, or at the very least, instinctively behave like wolves surrounding a large prey. In this case, they will try to encircle the tiger. Some dogs distract it from the front, bark, make feints, but jump back in time, dodging the cat's attacks. At this time, others circle from the flanks and rear. The tiger might pounce on one, then the rest will rush at its back, sides, and hind legs. Such a mass attack can knock the tiger off its feet. If at least 3 or 4 strong dogs simultaneously attack the predator from different sides, it will have a problem. Whom to bite, whom to scratch. One grabbed it by the throat, the others sank their fangs into its haunch and neck. In such a ball, the tiger is not so invulnerable. Its paws and teeth are still deadly, and it will probably have time to rip open the belly or bite the spine of a couple of dogs, but the others can tear the tiger from other sides at that time. In real observations, it is known that even lions and tigers back down before the coordinated attack of a group of dogs or wolves. For example, there is a recorded case where 3 large Mastiff dogs managed to make a lion flee. 2 of the lions were fatally wounded, and the third, gripping the lion's face, injured it so severely that it preferred to retreat to its den. If we talk about tigers, in India, seasoned hunters used to say that a large pack of wild dhole dogs is capable of chasing down and tearing apart even a tiger. Of course, we are talking about a pack of 30 or 40 individuals, not 10. According to some data, a pack of this size is needed to overcome an adult tiger, and it takes them about 5 minutes. This is the paradoxical answer, symmetrical to our original comment. When it comes to 10 dogs, the outcome is not so clear. Nevertheless, a coordinated attack would give the Kangals a chance. They could try to wear out the tiger with collective maneuvers. Some distract from the front, while others bite from behind. A tiger is a loner. It is not accustomed to such tactics. In the wild, if several wolves or wild dogs start attacking it, the tiger will more often try to retreat to avoid unnecessary risk. But in an enclosed space, there is nowhere to run. And here, everything will depend on the dog's resilience and their ability to work as a team. If the Kangals didn't get scared, didn't scatter after the first losses, and managed to engage the tiger on their terms, the fight's outcome could tilt in their favor. The combined weight of 10 dogs reaches 500 to 600 kilograms against approximately 250 kilograms of the tiger. If they all attack at once, they could overwhelm with their mass. The result of an organized attack is that the dogs have a chance to kill the tiger, but at the cost of heavy losses. There is a high probability that out of 10 Kangals, only a few will survive, and those will be wounded. A tiger, even if it perishes, will most likely manage to slit the throats of the majority of the attackers. Of course, life is not a strategy, and a real fight would be far from an ideal scenario. Most likely, chaos would occur at the beginning. No one will form a line upon command. But somewhere between the described extremes, there is a possibility that the dogs will partially coordinate, let's say, attacking in groups of 2 or 3 from different sides. Then the fight will turn into a prolonged, exhausting battle. The tiger will circle, trying not to let the enemies get to its back, protecting its neck. The dogs will take turns making forays. One clamped onto the tiger, received a wound, and rolled back. She is replaced by another. The tiger may receive many bites on its hind legs, belly, and neck area. It bleeds profusely, but in the heat of the fight, it doesn't stop. Gradually, after killing some of the attackers, the tiger will start to weaken from wounds and fatigue. The remaining 2 or 3 dogs, if they have the courage to continue, can eventually jump on its back and sink their teeth into its throat. Exhausted, the tiger will no longer be able to shake them off effectively, and then the outcome will be decided. The result of such a prolonged fight is mutual destruction. The tiger is dead, but almost all the dogs have fallen as well. The last 2 are dying. It's a Pyrrhic victory for the 4-legged Spartans. The behavior and tactics of animals. What is important to understand? The tiger is, by nature, a solitary fighter. It has no experience in group hunting. It is used to relying only on itself. Each fight for a tiger is a sprint, a sudden rapid charge, an instant kill of prey or opponent, and it is all over. If an instant victory is not achieved, the tiger may retreat and wait, but in a cage or confined space, this option is not available. Kangals, as socialized animals, possess, even if basic, pack behavior. Even if they have not been specially trained to attack as a group, it can be expected that in a fight for their pack, they will naturally act together. However, there is a nuance. Domestic dogs, unlike wolves, often yield to the leader. In this case, the tiger is the obvious dominant, and they might become submissive, act hesitantly. Much depends on the courage of specific dogs. Kangals are known as very brave dogs, genetically selected for fearlessness against predators. They often engage in one-on-one fights with a wolf and emerge victorious. But the tiger, however, is a new, extremely dangerous opponent for them, for which the dogs have no innate behavior patterns. Some dogs may just get confused or panic from the deafening roar and sight of the giant cat. Others, on the contrary, may become enraged and rush headlong. If at least half of the Kangals chicken out, coordination will fail, and the tiger will take advantage of this. In the wild, even known brave wolves rarely dare to attack a tiger. They usually prefer to stay away from the striped neighbor, knowing the odds are small. There have been cases when the appearance of a tiger made a pack of wolves abandon their prey and flee. The aura of this predator is so strong that the psychological factor cannot be ignored. It may well happen that half the dogs just lose interest after the tiger's first terrifying attacks. Then the outcome is practically predetermined in favor of the cat. On the other hand, if the Kangals become fiercely enraged, their ancient instincts of wolf ancestors will awaken. It's not for nothing that some fighting dogs are called dog wolves. A group of enraged dogs is capable of taking down even a monster like a tiger, especially if they manage to surround and latch on with the whole crowd. Moreover, people often used a trick. They put special spiked collars on fighting dogs. Such armor protects the dog's neck, as the predator tries to sink its fangs into the throat first. If the dogs wear such armor, it will be even harder for the tiger to kill them immediately. The tiger might injure itself on the metal spikes while trying to bite the dog's neck. This would give the dogs extra time to counterattack. In general, there are many details, and the outcome of a 10-to-1 fight depends on numerous conditions. Historical analogies. Although history has not preserved direct cases of 10 dogs against a tiger, people have observed or even orchestrated something similar. In ancient times, aristocrats and hunters would sometimes pit their dogs against large predators for spectacle. For example, in medieval Europe, it was practiced to bait lions with dogs. An episode is known at the court of English King James I in the early 17th century. 3 large Mastiffs were released one after another against an adult lion. The lion killed the first dog instantly, dealt with the second one similarly, but the third managed to skillfully grab the lion by the muzzle and held on with a deadly grip for a long time. The lion injured the bold dog, but also received several bites himself, and, in the end, decided not to engage further and ran to the corner of the enclosure. 2 dogs later died from their wounds, but the last hero survived and was treated at court as a victor, since the lion had fled from him. A closer real-life example is the confrontation of tigers with wild dholes in the Asian jungles. Dholes weigh from 15 to 20 kilograms, much less than Kangals, but they run in large packs of 20 or 30 individuals. Usually, wild dogs do not attack an adult tiger without necessity. However, there are cases when the pack tries to drive a tiger away from prey or cubs. The tiger finds itself on the defensive. It growls, trying to scare off the attackers, and can kill several of the bravest dogs with a single paw swipe or pounce. But if there are too many dogs and they act in unison, the tiger has to retreat. Hunters have said that sometimes a pack of dholes could actually kill a tiger, although this happens very rarely. More often, the striped predator walks away, bearing about 10 ragged bites, while the pack celebrates victory, having lost a few comrades. An analogy can be drawn with wolves. In the Russian Far Eastern forests, tigers and wolves are competitors. Usually, where a tiger settles, wolves try to stay away because tigers will kill lone wolves as competitors for territory if given the chance. But direct confrontations between a tiger and a pack of wolves are rarely recorded, as it is too risky for both sides. One-on-one, a tiger can easily defeat any wolf. But what if a large wolf pack tried to attack? Some biologists suggest that a pack of wolves could overcome a tiger, but at the cost of heavy losses, which is why wolves in nature prefer not to tempt fate. The analogy with our Kangals is obvious. A group of large dogs in their strength and tactics is close to a pack of wolves, and a lone tiger is the same predator that wins in solo fights, but might retreat in front of an organized group if it underestimates it. Interestingly, people have valued dogs for their pack support in hunting since ancient times. For example, hunting wild boars, bears, pumas, and even leopards with the help of dogs is a fairly common practice. Breeds like the Argentine Dogo or the Turkish Shepherds are capable in a group of several dogs not only to corner a large beast, but also to hold it until the hunter arrives. There have been cases when a pack of dogs, at the cost of losses, killed a leopard or a puma. What I'm saying is that teamwork is the main trump card of the dog clan. Even if each one alone is weaker than a tiger, together they represent a formidable force. Conclusion: who will win? So, in theory, 10 Kangals may defeat one tiger, but in practice, this is extremely unlikely. In most scenarios, the outcome of the fight will favor the tiger, as the individual advantage of this predator is too great. It is several times larger in mass, faster in a decisive strike, armed with claws, and possesses an instantly lethal bite. One-on-one, any dog doesn't stand a chance. In a 10-to-1 format, the dog's situation improves, but only if they manage to use their numerical advantage correctly. If the Kangals surround the tiger, attack together, and exhaust it, acting as a cohesive pack, they might overpower and kill it, but at the cost of many participants' lives in this fight. In the most optimistic scenario for the dogs, a few severely wounded dogs will survive, and the tiger will be defeated. In any other case, the tiger will kill all or almost all the dogs, although it may itself receive injuries of varying severity. One could say that one tiger against 10 Kangals will most likely win. But our commentator, confident in the tiger's instant victory, may have been hasty. Reality, as we have seen, is much more complex and interesting. It's up to you. Write your opinion in the comments. Who is stronger, 10 Kangals or one tiger? Subscribe to the channel